Hi Pradeep, welcome on Europedia.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, so Pradeep, this is my, I think, second interaction with you. Last time it was when you were doing your PhD in
Mm,
United States, and now this is the second time I'm interacting with you when you completed your 3 years in a very prestigious multinational company in US, that is NVIDIA. And presently you are located in Dallas. So and you have also done your masters from very prestigious IIT Bombay, that is in energy science. So I'll be interacting with you and try to know your entire career journey so far. And the purpose of
mhm,
this interaction is to let students know a couple of things which people like you only can tell and guide them how they can
mm.
pursue in their career. So I start with a brief introduction. First, Pradeep, from where you are in India and when did you graduate and which college did you graduate from, in which stream, and then you must have joined masters till this job you got. You please tell us about your journey.
So I'm from Chandigarh actually. I did my bachelor in from a university of UIET, University Institute of Engineering and Technology. I forward actually, and Punjab
UIT.
University.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
then I did. I took coaching from you for the gate, and you trained me well.
Long back,
And
huh? Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
means I graduated in 2013, and at that time I was under you, like,
Hmm.
so I studied GATE, and then actually during that GATE time only I studied mechanical engineering. Before that 4 years I was doing complete fun in life, and
Okay.
and then I got like around 900 something rank in a GATE 2014, and then I get into IIT Bombay in energy engineering department. Um, like in getting into the department, it's like first you give gate, and then it's like you get selected, then you give a theoretical exam there, and then the interview, and then they finalize the results and decide on the basis of all these three steps who will be able to get into the that year energy department. And after that, my master's, I finished my master from IIT Bombay in 2016, and after that, I studied PhD from US. I studied from University of Texas Arlington, and I finished my PhD in 2022. So with NVIDIA, like 1 year I was an intern, and 2 years I'm working now as a full time as a senior mechanical engineer.
Wonderful. So I have a couple of things to ask you, Pradeep, here. One is like there are so many students who join IIT Bombay, this course, energy science course, energy studies course, and there are so many such courses, Pradeep. You're mechanical engineer, and you know that after mechanical engineering, you can pursue courses in core branches of mechanical engineering, like design, thermal, manufacturing, and all. But at the same time, you have opportunities to pursue your masters in courses, interdisciplinary courses like energy science, sustainability, or other applied mechanics and all, oceaneering, earth science. So one question students normally ask, because I mentor them for even taking admission in various courses, and they ask me as a teacher that what are the career opportunities from courses like energy science. So should we join energy science or should we join mechanical engineering? So what are the career opportunities from energy science? I think you are the right person. I can ask this question.
Yeah, so actually, like in IIT, especially, it doesn't matter like which department you're getting into. You can study other department courses as well. So suppose if you are into energy sciences, you can study mechanical engineering courses. And the only difference comes when the companies come for the placement. So are those companies open for energy department, or are they open only for mechanical department? So, but if your placement managers in your campus are good, most probably they will try to open those companies for energy also, or any other branch that are related to that company. And if you do that, then most probably if you are good in aptitude and all those, you will you can get a job easily. So that's not a problem.
Mhm.
And other thing is that what are the option after that? I guess there are a lot of options. Like you can get into like I guess if you know Himanshu Garg, right? He went into Tata Motors from
Mhm.
energy, and
Yes.
then there is a consulting jobs you can get into. So my
Mhm.
friend Rahul Katyal, he went into consulting, and
Mhm.
there's a Amarjeet, he is also in a consulting, and
Mhm.
maybe initially your package will not be that high, maybe 7-8 lakhs
Mhm.
initially. Now I don't know, means our time it was 7-8 lakh, maybe now 10 lakh
Mhm.
starting package. But gradually within next 5 to 6 years, I will say that you can grow well if you are
Okay.
dedicated. And
Mhm.
other than that is like you can do PhD as well,
Mhm.
as I did. And then also there are a lot of job opportunities options
Opportunity.
available.
Mm. So Pradeep, when student ask me, sir, then what is the pay package, average package we can get from energy science or applied mechanics IIT Delhi or design from IIT Kanpur? What is the average package? I tell them that package is secondary. Your interest
Mhm.
is priority.
Right.
Just interest is very very important. Number two, मैंने जितने लोगों से बात किया आईआईटी के जो ग्रेजुएट्स हैं जो जैसे आप हैं they all say that once you are inside the campus of IIT, and that is my own experience also, largely placement and career depends upon you. Because
Yeah.
IITs are wonderful institutes, they give you all the opportunities, they provide you the ecosystem to grow. आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है आप कितना यहाँ से करियर लेके जाएंगे बिकॉज इन द सेम क्लास ऑफ 30 स्टूडेंट्स एवरीबडी मे बी ट्रेवलिंग इन डिफरेंट वे डिफरेंट पाथ
Yeah.
दे मिनिस्ट ट्रेवलिंग सो वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है तो पैकेज ये ऐसी चीजें क्या बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है ये क्या फैक्टर होना चाहिए प्रदीप आई मीन व्हेन समबडी इज थिंकिंग ऑफ गोइंग टू आईआईटी सम डिपार्टमेंट एंड माय पर्सनल व्यू इज student rate the departments like oceaneering, earth science, energy science, or
Mhm.
design, good, bad departments. In my opinion, it's nothing like good or bad departments. Like आजकल तो क्या हो
Yeah.
गया emerging technologies are into everything.
Yeah. So I know one guy, I forgot his name. He was in Earth Sciences in IIT Bombay. And that guy, last I know, he was in Microsoft. So
Hmm.
in sustainability thing.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of path open up from everything, I guess. It's just
Hmm.
you should know how to get into the stuff, right?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, one thing is in India is that you should be good in aptitude, I guess, because means I personally don't prefer that thing because it doesn't mean if someone is good in aptitude, he is good in
Hmm.
technical also. But
Hmm.
that's how it is in India, but not in US actually. But yeah, but you should practice a little bit aptitude in India so that you will be ahead of everyone else so,
Hmm.
to get a
Hmm.
job. So that's the
Okay,
only
wonderful.
thing. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, Pradeep, coming to second part of your journey, you graduated from IIT Bombay, and then you thought of now going for job. You mentioned some names, and they are incidentally my students also, like Hira you mentioned and Garg you mentioned, and they were also your classmates there, and they traveled in different paths, and I believe they are working in India also.
Mm.
Now, when you graduated from there, you thought of at what stage you thought of doing PhD? And when I tell them the path of PhD now to students, like, okay, PhD is also one of the options for you. I do that on the basis of my own experience, on the basis of the experience of people like you, that, okay, PhD offers the career domains, they open up different domains for you, especially for highly creative jobs where R&D is involved in top multinational companies. But the idea in the minds of the students in India is like PhD means teaching एंड टीचिंग इज अ बोरिंग जॉब बोरिंग प्रोफेशन इस चीज से कैसे निकाला जाए लोगों को एंड व्हाट इज योर परसेप्शन ऑन दैट
So, I guess I have told this earlier also, and I want to tell again. Remember, like when actually I was studying with you, you told us to do the PhD, and you used to tell us that PhD is something where you can then choose what you want to do, right? And that's what I also realized that, and I guess you also told me these things that actually, if you are getting a good rank in GATE, you are choosing whatever is in front of you, right? And you are going with it. and you will start earning 15 to 16 lakh at age of 23, 24, and you will be like comfortable, and you will get stuck there kind of, right? Because now you are earning that amount of money, and so I personally now start believing that more your success get delayed, more successful you are actually.
mm,
So
mm,
because then you have gone through everything, right?
mm,
So same thing happened with me, that
mm,
like I got a rank, but my rank was not good enough to get into PSUs, and
mm,
I by chance I get into IITs because that's an option for me. And that time that was the thinking, right?
mm,
And I did my master, and in master, while doing master, I was prepared that I will do PhD, but during master, my mindset changed that I'll want a job, because
mm,
that's what everyone is doing there, right?
mm, mm,
So I got a job of 6-7 lakh, but then I thought that okay, because of some of my family reasons and some other reasons, I thought of doing IES. I
mm,
would go went for IES for 1 year, and I was not able to do it. And
mm,
then I got a job in Mumbai, back in
mm,
IIT Bombay. Like there's a company in that I got a
mm,
job, and while
mm,
doing that, within a 6 month, I applied for the PhD.
mm,
And but why after doing PhD and during PhD, I realized that actually, especially in US, there are a lot of opportunities in companies,
mm,
and if I talk about specifically my field, because my field was like thermal
mm,
management
mm,
in semiconductors. So this field is highly paying job, high pay job is there for
mm,
mechanical.
mm, mm.
So I believe like I didn't get a rank that time good enough to get into PhD, get into
Mm,
PSUs. That was
success. Mm,
for me
mm,
actually.
mm, mm,
So this is the if the thinking like the I know other student also think in my when I was like 23 and now they are 23-year-old. So
mm,
they think that okay, we need a job. We see our friends having a car, right? Everything, and we feel like oh, I also want that, right? But I guess that is very childish. If you really want to succeed in life and want to earn more, then you should, I guess, do go for a PhD. Especially in even in mechanical engineering, I'll say, because mechanical engineering jobs are not high paying jobs. If you go anywhere like in US, also after master, your job will not be high paying. But after PhD, especially, I'll try to tell mechanical engineers align yourself with computer science somewhere so that you get high paying jobs. So um, basically like now my job is like thermal management of these GPUs, semiconductor chips. So because of that, because I am aligned with them and these companies are booming, so my pay is also very good. So
mm. Okay, Pradeep, you just mentioned about align yourself with some emerging technologies or computer science technologies and all.
Mhm.
जो स्टूडेंट मास्टर्स कर रहा है प्रदीप, जैसे एनर्जी स्टडीज में मास्टर्स कर रहा है, उसके लिए क्या गाइडलाइंस है आपके पास? व्हाट ही शुड अलाइन विद, व्हाट ही
so,
शुड लर्न?
so actually when I was doing masters, there are the courses in mechanical engineer where you can learn simulations, coding, what is happening in a back end of NCs, right? All these codes which they run to get a simulation results. So if you like basically in mechanical engineering, right now you can do this coding and this simulation. Third thing is now getting big is AI and machine learning, right? And I guess there are a lot of courses available online for free for AI and machine learning. And if you can apply it for the small project also. So those things will help you to like differentiate from others. Because if you companies like if you take example of suppose Mercedes. So Mercedes also want a mechanical engineer, but they want a mechanical engineer with the knowledge of software because now so the mechanical engineer can write a code much better than the computer science engineer if he knows the coding because he knows mechanical stuff and now he knows the coding also, but computer science engineer will not know the mechanical stuff, he just know the coding. So there are I know the people who have did the coding. They learned coding very well, like C and Python and every all those. And then they get job into Mercedes, like in US, I'm talking Mercedes, they're doing coding for them. And then once you are doing coding, there is no limit for the
mm,
like
mm,
in which company you will get into. Like you can,
mm,
you are a mechanical engineer doing coding for Mercedes. Tomorrow you get into Goldman
mm,
Sachs coding
mm,
for them.
mm, mm,
So this is just a skill set. Once you learn the skill set, you can transferable to any
mm,
branch.
mm, mm, mm. Okay.
So
So, so for the,
these are the something like for a
mm,
mechanical engineer, especially to get into high paying jobs, they can do that.
mm, okay. Mm. Okay, Pradeep, you are still to answer one question which I asked you, and that is, does PhD mean teaching? The perception in India.
No, so yeah, I get diverted to something else. But yeah, PhD doesn't mean teaching. I guess in India, there are still less jobs for PhD for sure.
Mm,
But it's not like there are no jobs. It's like you should be more open-minded in India, like in the sense, you should know what is happening in the industry, right? So
mm,
your
mm,
PhD should align with that thing. So if you
mm,
align your PhD with that thing, then I know a few people from IIT Bombay also who have done PhD, placed in
mm,
Intel and all from
mm,
mechanical engineering.
mm,
So you can do that, but yeah, definitely if you're coming to US, there is no actually getting into teaching is more difficult than getting into
mm,
industry. So
mm.
in US, getting into teaching is not easier as compared to
Okay.
industry.
Okay, Pradeep, I keep on sharing with my students that my own journey. I tell them that I did my PhD from IIT Delhi, and maybe that was the reason was like I was working in DRDO, and that naturally fell for me and my professor, and that is how it all went. Though I got opportunities for abroad, as in United States, some couple of universities. Now, when I mentor students, I mentor them for PhD abroad. There are some reasons, and I keep on telling them the reasons why I want you to go abroad and do PhD. Whenever some student will come to me, I'll say, no, not from India, to go abroad. I
Mm.
want to know from you why PhD from abroad.
So, yeah, it's the same reason actually for the jobs perspective. I guess in India, it's mostly if you are doing PhD, there are less options right now. But I believe with the way that economy is growing, maybe high paying jobs will also move to India. Research and development will move to India, and like Apple is coming is already manufacturing there, right? So
Mm,
maybe all those companies will start coming for a mechanical people also.
mm, mm,
Uh, right now, it's mostly like I know like design, like whatever the chips are getting designed, they are designed in India, right? And all those jobs are still there, but it's very difficult for mechanical engineers. For mechanical engineer, yeah, definitely. If you come to US, I guess US is a hub of opportunities. Like there is no, you will never say that there is no opportunities are not available here.
mm,
There are a lot
mm,
of opportunities available, and you can earn as much as you want. It's up to your capability. So I
mm,
always tell people two things. I never advise anyone to go to Canada. That's my personal thing. And but I say only two things. If you want to live a peaceful life without you don't worry about money, then go to Europe and live their life there. And if
mm.
you want to earn money, then come to US. That's the only two countries I usually recommend.
Okay.
But other countries are I means I don't see them as a way of opportunities, especially in Canada. I think there's not much opportunities for IT. There is still opportunities in Canada, but other than that, there's no opportunities for anyone else. And Canada is very high tax. You have to pay. All those things are separate topic of discussion. But yeah, for US, if you are doing PhD, actually you will if you want to become a faculty, you need to give more effort than get into industry.
Wonderful. Okay, Pradeep, now you have seen, almost everything which Indian engineering students see in their career journey. You have written one exam, and you got a score which was may not be that sufficient that time. Now, with your score, people are getting into public sectors. But at that time, All India rank 900, maybe you could not get call or something. Public sector. But many of your friends I know, they are in public sector now, and then you wrote engineering services, and then you decided to go abroad. Then you got job also, corporate job. So यही options होती हैं engineering students के पास. because of my profession as a teacher, I get luxury to interact with people like you and so many of my students. And I see from very close, their life journey also, and I keep on meeting with them. You understand, like those who are in India, मेरे अपने काफी स्टूडेंट्स मेरे को मिलते रहते हैं और वो बताते भी रहते हैं कैसे कैसे लाइफ मूव करती है आगे. सो
Mhm.
डज इट मेक एनी सेंस? दो क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा कि क्या आपको कुछ रिग्रेट फील होता है कि आपको उस टाइम पे पीएसयू में जाना चाहिए था, दो यू हैव आंसर्ड दैट, या आपको इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज में जाना चाहिए था? ये पहला क्वेश्चन है मेरा. दूसरा, जैसा हम बोलते हैं ना कि जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, तो अच्छा हुआ नहीं हुआ, एंड नाउ यू फील दैट वे. और दूसरा मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि जो स्टूडेंट 4 5 5 6 6 साल लगा देते हैं पीएसयू की रेस में, बिकॉज आई कीप ऑन मेंटरिंग देम फॉर इंटरव्यू ऑल्सो, द बिगेस्ट चैलेंजिंग क्वेश्चन इज लाइक 4 साल से क्या कर रहे हो तुम? इंटरव्यू में
Mhm.
पूछा जाता है कि ये गैप 4 साल का, तुम पीएसयू की तैयारी कर रहे हो, बस तुम एग्जाम्स लिखते जा रहे हो आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन 4 5 years. डज इट मेक सेंस टू इन्वेस्ट दैट मेनी years आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन? These two questions.
Means personally, I'll say no, because I guess in front of you there are many doors, and so suppose one door is not opening up, you are just beating that door, right? So
Mm,
there are six other doors. So there will be one door that is opening itself for you,
mm,
but you are
mm,
not going there, right?
mm,
So
mm,
that's, I guess, that doesn't make any sense.
mm,
So, and frankly speaking, I guess, as I said, like I'm very happy what I did and what happened with me and where I am today. And I am having very good job. Like I work from home, and I don't need to go to anywhere, right? I get to travel. I can travel any like lot of places, even if my work is in Europe, Taiwan, and inside US, many places. I travel for conferences. Okay, so all these are free of cost to me, and I am earning much higher than average mechanical engineer in US, and
mm,
I believe that I don't have any regret that I was not in PSU. So the thing is that that's what I was telling. The more, I guess, more you are delayed with your success, more successful you become in your life.
mm,
That's what I believe, because then you have gone through all the phases of your life, right?
mm,
And you
mm,
know that, okay, what to do and how to do the things.
mm,
And
mm,
so I personally believe, like, I recommend people to do PhD more, especially if they want to move out, because with PhD you can, first of all, PhD still have certain value. And second thing is that, like, especially in US, you can apply for highest category green card. Like, I have applied in a EB1 category, where like my green card will be processed in next 2 to 3 years, where other people are waiting in EB2, EB3 category for 10 years, 50 years, right? So that is there. And second thing, like, if you have done the PhD and you have a good profile, you don't need to get into H1B line. You can apply for O1 visa, which is called extraordinary skill set visa. So I have that visa for with me like for 3 years now, like for a 3 years, and after that it is keep on renewing every year. And
mm,
so there are many benefit of doing PhD, and especially I'll say if you are doing bachelor, come here directly for PhD, because that will save you some time.
Wonderful. Now, Pradeep, coming to next part. I mean, when you started your PhD journey, I tell you, many students, when I tell them to pursue PhD, that is one of the options and very good options. मैं इसीलिए
Mhm.
बोलता हूँ, after learning from experience of people like you and my own experience also, आई
Mhm.
स्ट्रांगली बिलीव कि पीएचडी में आपको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज लाइक इट गिव्स यू स्टेबिलिटी, वेदर इट इज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और इट इज इन द जॉब. ये बहुत भारी डिग्री है. मतलब
Mhm.
ये सैलरी भी आपको अच्छी ऑफर होती है इसके बाद, और आप ले ऑफ भी नहीं होते हैं, और एक रिस्क हेजिमनी है, कुछ ना कुछ खिला देगी ये, वो टुकड़ा है डिग्री का जो आपको खाना खिला
Mhm.
सकता है. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई टेल स्टूडेंट्स कि गो फॉर इट. लेकिन व्हाट स्टॉप्स देम फ्रॉम गोइंग फॉर दिस रूट, इवन इफ दे आर टेम्परामेंट वाइज दे आर सुटेबल फॉर दिस? हर कोई नहीं कर सकता ना, उसको करना चाहिए, लेकिन जो कर सकता है वो भी नहीं करता. वाई? बिकॉज दे फियर पता नहीं क्या होगा. पीएचडी इंडिया के अंदर अगेन द परसेप्शन इज लाइक गाइड आपको बहुत तंग करेगा, और आपके 5 6 7 7 साल लग जाएंगे आईआईटी कानपुर में. आई नो माई स्टूडेंट्स आफ्टर मास्टर्स, 7-7 साल से उनका भी नहीं कंप्लीट हुआ, तो वो टाइम बहुत लग जाएगा, गाइड बहुत परेशान करेगा, पैसे इसमें नहीं मिलते हैं। व्हाट इज योर परसेप्शन अबाउट दिस व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट यूएस, पीएचडी इन यूएस?
Yeah, in US, I guess if your professor is not even good, then also I guess you will max graduate in 5 years.
Okay.
Maximum I'm talking. But the best thing is like when you're applying for PhD, first of all, like you can when you email them, suppose you got a acceptance letter from the multiple universities. So you what you can do, you can talk to their that lab student, okay, and ask them about the professor. So one thing I'll say, like you need to be smart if you want to finish your PhD earlier.
Mm,
Uh, because the thing is that smart in the sense, not in the way I'm saying like you should be intelligent. I'm saying like what I did. I was in UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, when I traveled from India to US. Initially, there I was 6 months, but my professor was like very harsh and ruthless person. And but meanwhile, I have already applied for other universities. So I started getting acceptance from there. So when I like by that time, I got experience of bad professor, right? 6 months.
mm,
So what I did when next PhD I was about to accept, I just called the students who were there, and I talked to them. Luckily, like under my professor, there was like a lot of Indian students. So I talked to them freely, like what I want in a professor, right? He's chill or whatever, like is he give a PhD soon?
mm,
So they told me, yeah, he is very good, and he doesn't have problem. If you get a job, he will let you go.
mm,
So that way you can interact with student to know about the professor. So like under my professor, I can tell like you can finish PhD easily in 3 years after masters and the max 4 years after the bachelor's.
mm,
So like I started my PhD under my professor in August 2018. And by the time December 2020, my PhD was over actually. But because NVIDIA was there in my lab, so I was
mm,
working with them for the 1 year to build their lab in my campus. And then 1 year I was an intern. So that's why it took me 4 years to get a PhD, but actually I was just earning during that time.
mm,
So, and I finished my PhD actually in just, you can say 2 years max.
mm, mm,
So it's like you need to be smart that should know about which under which professor you're going, and
mm,
you should know that what work, like what kind of work your professor is doing, because my professor work was more related to applied side rather than fundamental side. So applied side will help you to get a job easier in an industry as compared to fundamental research.
mm,
So means I played my cards very well.
mm,
Whatever I thought has aligned exactly. So I will say that if you want to be like, if your target is to get a job in industry, then see a professor which is more on applied side, and he's a nice person. And most
mm,
probably, if that person is an immigrant himself here in the US, then he will help you more as compared to if he is a US citizen from birth or
mm,
whatever. So, like these things you need to see to finish your PhD soon, I guess.
mm. Okay. So Pradeep, when I joined PhD, I told one of my closest friends कि मैं PhD ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ. He told me कि यार मैंने सुना है कि अगर पुराने जन्म में गंदे कर्म किए हो तो PhD मिलती है. It's very tough time, and there is a perception that बहुत टफ लाइफ होती है और दिस इज अ बैड फेज ऑफ योर लाइफ और बहुत टाइम तक तुम्हारा मेंटल स्ट्रेस रहता है. What are
Mhm.
your memories of PhD in US?
Definitely, like in the sense, I never had a bad phase, frankly speaking. For me, it was always because my professor is very was he is still like very chill person, and he's like encourage you whatever you want to do. And so he was like kind of managing lab more than just interfering in our work, right? He's like he will help you out if you are facing problem somewhere, but other than that, I don't think there's a bad memory, but definitely there are few things when you start you don't know. Like I was not aware of doing much simulation during when I started my PhD.
mm,
So I learned during my PhD how to do simulations and all. But
mm,
now I am not doing a simulation at all. Did most of my NVIDIA work is experimental.
mm,
But now I am just guiding things, research
mm,
to other people, right?
mm,
What to do.
mm,
So
mm,
though it was not that useful for me, but still I know the fundamentals and everything of simulation. So
mm,
that was the phase where I was learning simulation with my
mm,
friends, asking here and there how to do it, right things, and
mm,
learning from the online courses or whatever available. So yeah, there will be definitely phase is in some people life, but I guess that more depend on what kind of professor you are choosing. So I guess a lot of things depend on your professor and what kind of research they are doing. If you really enjoy doing fundamental research, then that's a separate thing. With fundamental research, it's little difficult to get into industrial job. It's not difficult, I'll say, means you will get an industrial job maybe because, but you need to find it more because your professor will not have that much contact in industry. Like in
mm,
my case, like in my lab during when I was doing PhD, there was NVIDIA, Intel, right? Meta people were there because my seniors were in Meta. And then people in Qualcomm was there. My seniors from my lab was in Qualcomm. Then Microsoft, one or two people from other university I know. So like I have a broader like people who I know in industry available.
okay.
So
Mm.
yeah, so if your research is more on applied side, that will help you out.
Okay. So all these companies which you mentioned, like Meta, Microsoft, Qualcomm, ये मैकेनिकल वाले स्टूडेंट्स थे जो इनको ज्वाइन किया है प्रदीप?
Yeah. So
ओके।
all the companies like Meta have their data centers, right? Okay, so the thing is that there are two kind of companies, right? One is companies which design chips and manufacture chips, like NVIDIA design chips, but manufacturing of NVIDIA chips is done by TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor. And then there are the companies like Meta, Google, and all who has a data center who deploy these chips.
ओके।
Okay. So they we like in NVIDIA, we are doing research how to cool down these chips, right? We make all the reference designs and everything or best practices. Similarly, Meta has their own team who look into all these things because they are deploying these chips. So they need to build their own data centers. So every company, if you think about any company actually related to IT, which is big, they need to have the data centers. Then you need a mechanical engineers. And right now, like if you, I don't know how much you follow NVIDIA, but like NVIDIA launched GB200 chip with like 150 kilowatt per rack. Usually like 150 kilowatt, if you take Intel chips, those are like 8 to 10 racks you need to generate that much of power. But our one per rack generate that much of power. So you need a mechanical engineer to cool down also because now you're more bringing it more close to each other, right? So there are a lot of jobs for mechanical engineers. Like in my team in the last year, I guess when I started working in NVIDIA team, we were like four or five people under one director, and now we are like 30, 40 people. Those mostly
Okay.
are from mechanical and electrical background.
Wonderful. So, Pradeep, my last interaction point was related to this only. That was related to your job. You completed your PhD and then we landed up in a job. And recently, I came to know you completed 3 years in this particular company now.
Yeah.
I want you to tell the students about your journey with NVIDIA, how you got this company, and what is the work profile you are into right now, and what kind of
Mhm.
career opportunities this company offer.
So actually, I started working with NVIDIA when I was in PhD in 2020 July. I started working with them, and then I built labs for them, like complete liquid cooling lab, which recently got launched. That product got launched. So I did the most of the research and development work of that. So so 2020 July to kind of 21 May, I was like doing as a PhD student working with them. Then in 21 May to like 2022 May, I was intern with them and was working on all this technology, liquid cooling, cold plate based liquid cooling, then immersion cooling. So all these technologies I was working. Initially, I did a lot of work with my own hands, even joining all wires, right? So uh, right now, because I can't explain, means in my setup you will find like 700 to 800 just sensors. So you can think of wiring of those sensors. Then there are like 8 GPUs and 4 NV switches kind of stuff in one server. So all
Mm,
these are wiring you have to do, right? Then there is a lot of plumbing work you need to do. I did with my own hands that time. So, but once, like after my intern, when I joined full time, mostly in then because this lab that I built, that I like had that lab now, and there are a lot of PhD students and intern under me that work there, and then I work internally with NVIDIA, like other my colleagues, whatever the internal data center projects comes. So now my work is mostly like guiding a research that is we are doing in the labs, and
mm,
then second thing is a deployment thing in factories and a data center we are building. Like factories
mm,
we need because now if you are building a chip and after that the it will get into a server, you
mm,
need to check with the liquid cooling that okay, these everything is going fine, right? You need a factories for that. So those factories deployment of these all liquid cooling stuff I look after. Means some part I look after, like and then I get to travel there, like if there is any kind of commissioning of these things about to take place.
mm,
So I get to travel there to analyze
mm,
stuff, and if there is any problem, I need to report that.
mm,
So
mm,
what I do mostly, and we keep on publishing papers also, and because of
mm,
that, I was telling like I get to travel also for
mm,
conferences. So
mm.
that's what I
Okay.
am doing. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so Pradeep, one of the questions which student normally ask is the salary which people get after they complete their masters or they complete their PhD. So I'll ask you, number one, what is the average salary a student may get once he completes his masters in mechanical engineering from US, and after he completes his PhD from US? What is the discrepancy, I mean, difference?
So
And third, you also said about that you are getting more than average of what PhD may get. So what NVIDIA on an average offers to PhD people salary?
So, actually, it's like for an average, if I say mechanical engineering, it is like maybe $80,000 per year is the
Mm,
average I can think
mm,
of. I'm considering like maybe some people are in California side. It vary from state to state also, right? Because California cost of living is very high, and in Dallas cost of living is not that high.
mm,
So that is there. And after PhD, I will say you can think of $1 lakh per year is the
okay.
average.
Mm,
But getting into like as a mechanical engineer, getting into these big companies, advantage is that you get a good starting base salary. Like
mm,
base salary after PhD means you directly join as a, senior mechanical engineer
mm,
that we call as IC3, and then IC3, IC4, IC5 are called as senior mechanical engineer, and IC6 become a principal engineer, and
mm,
IC7 is a distinguished engineer.
mm,
So you directly join as IC3 with a base salary maybe around 150, 1,50,000, 1,40,000. And
mm,
but these companies give you stock options
mm,
you get like maybe you are getting $2 lakh stocks for 4 years. Like your $2 lakh stocks will divide into 4 years. Like
mm,
every year you're getting $50,000 stocks as well.
mm.
Okay. So that $50,000 stock plus your base salary then take you around 2 lakh
Okay.
dollars.
Mm,
Okay, then there are like there is option called ESPP. ESPP is a Employment Stock Purchase Program,
mm,
where what you do like with your salary, like up to certain percentage, in my company limit is $25,000. I can
mm,
purchase the stocks of my company, and
mm,
whatever the lowest value of the stock, like during the time of purchase,
mm,
if it is like and you buy the stock, they will buy the stock for you at a particular time, and there is
mm,
a value of the stock, and they will then they will give you stocks at the end of the 6 months. There's a certain
mm,
value of stock,
mm,
and then
mm,
they will lock the period, the whichever will be the lowest, they will lock that, and then they will give you 15% discount on that. So you can earn on that as well.
Mm,
So
mm,
that way you can earn a lot. Then second thing is, third thing is like you in US you have a 401k, like that is your for retirement
mm,
thing. So in that, suppose if I am putting $11,000 a year, then kind of Nvidia is putting $11,000 a year. So
mm,
you're
mm,
a also. So
mm,
overall, with these things, you can with the big companies you can earn a lot. So,
mm,
but yeah, most of the companies will give you 401k thing, but maybe they are not matching what you are putting in 401k. So in small mechanical companies, other mechanical companies other than maybe these big companies, they are there are option means they will give you base salary. Maybe they are giving you 130k base salary, 1 like 30,000, 1 like 40,000, but they are not giving you stocks option. So then you are losing that thing. And
mm,
second thing is that these stocks grow a lot.
mm,
Like uh, like if you see like Nvidia stocks has grown maybe
mm,
600, 700% for
mm,
last 2 weeks. So
mm,
that
mm,
way a lot if you have a
mm,
stocks option.
mm,
So
mm,
these things will help you to grow your wealth.
तो नटशल में जो मेरे को समझ आया कि यू विल बिकम रिच once you join it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
Pradeep.
it's
Yeah.
mostly about like that's why I tell a lot of people if they want to do PhD, I can even help them now because my professor I have a very good repo.
Mm,
So if I recommend someone, he will hire him most probably.
wonderful.
So it's
एक
like yeah. So
गॉड.
if people approach me and I try to help them, everyone, because I have gone through all these phases in my life also. So I encourage everyone to come and do PhD and but be little like smart and be always active in your life. Like don't be like if you reach here, be lazy and just going out enjoying life. Initially, you need to put some effort at least.
प्रदीप एक यू नो लाइक आई कीप ऑन मेंटरिंग स्टूडेंट्स एंड टेलिंग स्टूडेंट्स अबाउट द अपॉर्चुनिटीज थ्रू पीपल लाइक यू. एक सीरीज मैंने स्टार्ट किया हुआ जिसको नाम दिया है मैंने कि ज्वाइन माय पीएचडी माय प्रोफेसर फॉर पीएचडी. सो उसमें आई आस्क द पीपल लाइक यू, आपने खुद ही बता दिया लेकिन आई आस्क पीपल लाइक यू कि व्हाई अ स्टूडेंट शुड ज्वाइन योर प्रोफेसर फॉर पीएचडी एंड विच एरिया योर प्रोफेसर इज वर्किंग and what credential the student should have. He is not gonna
Mhm.
take everyone. So what
Mhm.
credential that student should have, उसके अंदर क्या होना चाहिए कि आपका प्रोफेसर उसको कंसीडर कर ले,
Mhm.
स्कॉलरशिप कितना मिलेगा उसको, एंड क्या वो डायरेक्ट पीएचडी के लिए आ सकता है या वो एमएस टू पीएचडी के लिए आ सकता है. ये दो तीन क्वेश्चन मैं उसमें पूछता हूँ. तो अगेन आई एम गोना आस्क यू, ज्वाइन माय प्रोफेसर फॉर पीएचडी, उसमें ये सब चीज का मेरे को बताइए आप.
So yeah, definitely. My professor name is Dr. Dereje Ganofer. He's in UTA, University of Texas, Arlington. So he works in the area of this thermal management of semiconductors.
What is the name of
So
department, Pradeep?
Department of Mechanical Engineering.
Okay.
So this semiconductors where like you can either if you are from a thermal background or a
Hmm.
reliability background, you can work under him because there is a reliability part of these semiconductors, right?
Mm,
Where
mm,
you look after even if you have a PCB board, they have all these capacitors,
mm,
CPU, and you have the joints, they are solder joints, and there are a lot of other things that I am not aware because I'm not a reliability person. But like in thermal, then there is a thermal part where like till now most of the deployment in the world is air cooling side of the data center. Now the things are moving very fast with the AI for AI, and especially Nvidia is moving things very fast.
mm,
So for that, like it is like you need advanced cooling technologies like liquid cooling, immersion
mm,
cooling, and
mm,
in liquid cooling also there is single phase, two phase cooling, then single phase, two phase immersion cooling. So all those technologies need to be, studied more further, and like you need to do a lot of experimentation. And if the companies are coming to your lab, you have to do experiments for them, right? All those things. So all these areas my professor work on, and
mm,
there can be a even on a silicon side where the chips they manufacture chips can be worked out too, but I'm not sure because he's more aware of all those things.
mm,
But there also someone can come to my under my professor. So skill set you need is, I guess, my professor will be more happy to take people if they have done master or a bachelor from IIT. He's more like inclined to take them because he prefer people student from IITs.
mm,
But other student from normal university after bachelor also, if they
mm,
have good good scores in their bachelor, and then like one paper maybe you publish in conference or something like that will
mm,
help you. But if you don't have that, then also he will consider you as
mm,
long as you have a good GRE score.
mm.
GRE score in our university for PhD criteria remains like for quant you need more than 160.
Okay.
uh, yeah, other than that, for English, it doesn't matter to them. And
Mm,
TOEFL and IELTS, the whatever the basic criteria is.
mm,
So yeah, so these skill set, like for thermal side, maybe if you know the ANSYS has a software called IcePack for electronics. So if you
mm,
know that electronic thermal management, that
mm,
is better. Then
mm,
there are some other software, but I don't think other people know, so I don't want to name that.
mm,
So that is there, and then the basic knowledge of thermal management
mm,
will help. You need to be good in heat transfer, thermodynamics, little bit,
mm.
all those things. Means those are edge. But the one thing is, once you are here, then you need to qualify the exam.
Okay.
In get a two attempts.
Mm,
You can take like if someone is coming in thermal, he can take either thermal and fluids, and he
mm,
need to that person need to do two exams. But if
mm.
someone is coming reliability, they take sometime thermal and this solid mechanics.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm,
because I did thermal and fluids because I was strong in that.
mm,
So so yeah, I means I cleared both the exam in first attempt. So but you
mm,
get two chances to clear those exams.
mm.
So yeah,
Wonderful.
overall is
Mm,
this, and under my professor, other than that is like you can finish your PhD within 2 to 3 years if you are good. But
mm.
yeah, and he's very chill person. He will not bother you much
Okay.
under my
So, so,
so this is so
so
this
if
is a gold
Pradeep is saying
mine.
chill, he really is chill.
Yeah. So this is a kind of I'm telling a gold mine to people that
Okay.
uh, and
So he takes
yeah,
direct PhD students also, Pradeep, or only after
so
masters?
yeah, he take direct PhD students.
Mm. How much
So
time it takes taken after graduation to PhD?
4 years. That is a
Oh, after
criteria of
B.Tech, huh?
after BTech 4 years. That's a criteria of department, not my professor. So
Mm, mm. Wonderful.
so yeah, but in between you can go for internship also. He will not let you go for internship first year or second year kind of, but yeah, definitely third year you can go for internship as
Mm,
long as you can do as an international student, we can do internship for 1 year max. So
okay.
you can do internship 1 year.
Mm,
So and but there are professors which will not even allow you to go for internship during their
mm,
PhD. So
mm. Okay.
so that way I'll say my professor is best kind of.
Good, good. That is wonderful actually, and surely students who will be listening to you and listening to this part of your information, like what is required in students if they want to, join professors like yours and aspire for that, they can approach and they can proceed forward. No, Pradeep, we have come to an end of this wonderful session, marathon session, I must say. Uh, कुछ भी words आप बोलना चाहें students को, those who are listening to you, anything you want to tell them?
Um, I'll say that don't lose a hope on anything. Like if you're not getting a rank, it's okay. Means if you're putting a effort and you're not getting a rank, then it's okay. But yeah, if you're not putting a effort, then that's something you
That's
need
not
to think
okay.
about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so but just go with the flow. And I know during this time period we have a lot of pressure in on our mind, right? that we look after our friends also, like they are succeeding, maybe you are not succeeding, but in the end it doesn't matter. So just go with the flow and try to do whatever, like you will get some kind of voice from your inside also, like this is what you want to do. Means I can do the job in India at 7 and 8 lakh also, but so I can tell you a story that my father, because after B.Tech also I got a job, but I never joined that job. After master I got a job, I never joined that job. So my father told me, why you're not doing any job? And so I told him this thing, that I know, that time I told him that I'm not a person who will be made to do the job for 7 or 8 lakh. I will do something big in my life, and that's why I took a lot of time. But with God grace, I able to achieve that. And so, like you will have some kind of intention, some kind of voice inside you that will tell you for what you are made for. So just listen that and follow that thing, and you will reach somewhere. Maybe you will reach late, but you will be happier in the end.
Wonderful. So, Pradeep, it was a wonderful session and really enjoyed it. The most enjoyable line for me from your side was like uh, delayed gratification. Later, you get the success. Better it is going to be for you. It is going to give you more satisfaction and it is going to be huge for you. And that is what the
Right.
delayed gratification this generation needs to learn. This generation is 2020 generation now, not a test match generation.
Yeah, because more sooner you get something, you don't know what all you can achieve in your life, because you're getting satisfied there, right?
Yeah.
With a lesser thing. So if you
Yes.
want to achieve more, then you need to, give some time to achieve that thing.
Mm. Chalo, wonderful. It was a wonderful session, Pradeep. And
Yeah.
I'll keep on catching you after a couple of years. As actually, I'm making the sequel. Maybe next time I'll catch you after 3, 4 years in your journey
Okay.
to share further your knowledge. And I'm sure students जो सुनेंगे उनको बहुत बेनिफिट होगा प्रदीप उनको काफी कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा परसेप्शन उनका एक बनेगा जो उनको हेल्प करेगा सो थैंक्स अ लॉट आपने 1 घंटा स्पेयर किया इस सेशन के लिए थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर दैट एंड ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट